Breaking up is hard to do. How to make a clean break. It seems that letting go of a relationship, especially when the person meets 75% to 80% of your needs, is a challenge. Men and women constantly ask me what is the right way to break up. Should they have breakup sex? Can they be just friends? Should they talk on the phone regularly? Or should they just sever ties, make a clean break? While I have specific advice on this topic, be assured that I have had vast experience with breaking up. Prior to doing the work I did in creating the Dating with Dignity 10 Steps to Manifesting Love, I had a horrific time letting go of a relationship with a man who wasn't a match. In fact, he wasn't someone who ultimately made me feel good about myself. However, the hope and promise of what it might be if he changed kept me coming back for more. I hoped. I prayed. And, while I tried desperately to be just friends, I was so completely attracted to him that it was hard not to think about connecting with him physically. I tried clean breaks too, but during those periods he would send emails, call, or just reach out telling me he missed me and wanted just to talk. These messages hit my weakest spots, making me temporarily feel worthy, lovable, and wanted. Of course, even after weeks of successfully not talking, I acquiesced and made contact. The bottom line? It took me more than 18 months to let go of a relationship that should have ended just 6 months after it began. During this on and off again period, I mourned, tried to date other people, and went out with friends. Mostly, though, I pined for him, dreaming that one day he would recognize my awesomeness and come back begging to be with me. What was most sad about being in this limbo state of being for me was the fact that during this time I never focused on how I had been treated poorly, accepting merely crumbs, or why we weren't a match because of differing values. Yes, he was good-looking. We had incredible chemistry. I adored his kids. But still, he wasn't what I deserved. To say we had break-up sex at least 1/2 times might be accurate, it could have been more. I was lost. Drowning in false promises. Hope. And pretending that he was the soulmate I might never find again. Now, back to reality. The truth is, this breakup was horrible. I could have saved myself pain, tears, and months of agonizing heartbreak if I had lived in reality. I could have moved on more quickly, creating space to meet someone new if only I had not waited to do the work I ultimately did to find self-love, date with intention, and create a life I loved. Fast forward 18 months later, and behold, I had become a dignity dater looking to make a move forward. As a result, I landed in a nice relationship with a man who lived outside of Los Angeles, where I live. We dated for 3 months. He was an excellent communicator, passionate, and we had the same spiritual sense of being. Nevertheless, he was not a match. While on a trip together, I realized that while I thought this man an incredible person, he would never be the person with whom I could partner. That said, I had to have the "it's not a match" conversation. I loved him. He was sweet, and had been there for me when my mother was very sick, dying from cancer. Nevertheless, we agreed that while love is necessary, it is not sufficient. This, my friends, was a clean break. I missed him terribly the first week. After all, suddenly there was nobody to talk to while driving to work, not a soul who cared that I had gone to the grocery store to buy chicken and ended up with chocolate. There was nobody to say goodnight to before my head hit the pillow. And there was nobody who would stand beside me at my mother's funeral. Bottom line? Yes, it was hard. It was uncomfortable. And, quite frankly, it hurt. But, I knew that if my patience and wounded heart could withstand the test of time, if I took comfort in my friends, hobbies, and the incredible life I had created, I would not only survive but thrive. So, is there such a thing as a clean break? Yes. And no. I value the breakup conversations. I even value breakup sex. The problem becomes when breaking up is so dramatic, poetic, and perfect that it leads to nothing less than sheer fantasy. It leads to what ifs? What could have been? And if only. The challenge becomes when breaking up leads to making up, breaking up again, and then once again, a dramatic reunion which results in fantastical sex and connection. This, my friends, is one hell of an unfulfilling, no-win romantic rut. When you decide it's not a match, decide for good. Decide for you. Decide to save yourself time, energy, and sadness. Move forward so that you can begin to create a life you love. It will be worth it, I promise.